Welcome back, Tinkerers, Crafters, and Brainiacs. Today I would like to show you how motion graphic designers animate objects and how they can make them appear simply out of nowhere. As you can see in the intro, a brilliant designer has created petals that swirl and appear out of thin air right behind the initial flower. I want to demonstrate this using a much simpler idea with a logo. First, we will start in Illustrator. This tutorial assumes you know the basics of Illustrator. It's best you follow along using your own similar logo or image with text. An issue that I ran into after making my image into a vector, separating each letter, the background, the word "the" on their own separate layers, my Illustrator file would not import into After Effects properly. To fix this, you must select each sublayer and go to the three lines next to Layers in Illustrator and click Release to Layers Sequence. Now all of your layers should be a different color. Repeat this again and they should all be on their own top layer or master layer. Save your Illustrator file, close Illustrator, and open After Effects. Once open, click New Composition. Name your file, set your frame rate to either 12 or 24. Make your dimensions 1920 by 1080. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I set my duration to 4 seconds and hit OK. Now to bring in the Illustrator file, go to File, Import. Click on the Illustrator file, but before importing, change Import as Footage to Import as Composition, Retain Layer Sizes. Hit OK, and now after clicking Import, you will see a composition and a folder containing your Illustrator layers to the left. Click and drag both of these down to the box next to your timeline on the left. Now move your comp layer to the bottom and hide the black background if you have one, like this. My letters imported in the center, so just give me one moment while I line them up with my composition. Now that we have them aligned, we can start animating. I will start with "the" in the Forge. Click on the layer that contains "the." I've pre-grouped the T, H, and the E in Illustrator so that they will all move together. After I click on the layer, click on the drop-down menu next to the layer name and hit P. This brings up the keyframe menu for this layer's X and Y position. Take note of these two values that you see next to position. These two values will be critical once you're adjusting your keyframes for your animation. Now, if we click on that little stopwatch to the left of position, it will turn blue and you will see a small diamond on the timeline wherever your marker is placed. This little diamond is a keyframe. Now, without moving the marker, click and drag the first number, the X value, the direction that you want your text to come from. I chose the left, so my text "the" will come from the left and go to the right. Move your text far enough so that it just moves outside of the dimensions of the screen. Now, for our text to move back to its original position, move your marker forward to the nearest tick on your timeline. It doesn't really matter where you move it. Just move it forward slightly. Now click back on that X value and type in the number you saw before moving it. To make this easier on yourself, you can just round to the nearest whole value. Now if you go to the beginning with your marker, also by hitting home on your keyboard, and now hit space to play, you have made your first animation. But wait, there's one more thing we can add. Go back to where you see the keyframes, click and drag to select both of your keyframes. Now hit F9, and this will add what is called ease in and ease out. This adds a little bit of organic touch to each animation. Now let's repeat all of those previous steps on a new layer. Select your next letter, click on the drop-down menu and hit P, but this time I will use the second number or the second value under position, the Y value, because I want my text to move from the bottom to the top instead of left to right. Click and drag on the second value the direction that you want your text to come from. I chose down this time. And again, move your text just far enough so that it reaches just beyond the borders of the screen. Now, since I want my letters to not all arrive at the same time, but I want them to arrive one after the other, I am going to move my marker a little bit after my previous letter starts. Once your marker is in the correct place, click the stopwatch to create another keyframe. As you can see marked in red, each layer is identified by its letter, and you can see where each keyframe begins to move and where it stops to move. After you complete this process for each of your layers, save your file and hit the home button and spacebar again to watch your animation from the beginning. You may now export your project into a viewable clip. Go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. Now click on the name to choose your destination and rename your file. Now click Lossless to change your channel settings. Under Channel, change to RGB plus Alpha to give your animation a transparent background. Hit OK, and finally click Render on the bottom right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Tap that thumbs up if you'd like to see more videos like this, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to watch the part 2 of this video where I will show you how to add a mask to this animation.